What you can see on the screen at the moment is a picture of the gear that I was about to pack into my Osprey 85 litre backpack the night before I started the Overland track. What you can see on the ground are all the items, and we'll start at the top left. So I've got a Gore-Tex rain jacket, red one, top left corner. Just to the right of that I've got a dark coloured mid-layer jacket. Below that slightly is a yellow tabbed waterproof cover for my backpack. To the right of that is a small blue lighter. I do have a second ignition source, which is a little sparker, and under the lighter is a pair of headphones for my phone. Above that is some medicine, and above that is a fluorescent pink 800ml water bottle. To the right of the water bottle are two pairs of quick dry trousers. I typically wore one during the day, and they were zip-off pants, both of them. And then when I got to my destination, I washed myself down either in a creek or with a small Chucks cloth, and then changed out into afternoon clothes, which were obviously clean. Under the pants were three tops. To the right of the three tops, three pieces of underwear, and above that is a sun hat. The advantage of the sun hat was obviously to protect you in the sun, and when it did rain lightly, I'd sprayed it with a bit of a waterproof coating called Weather Shield, and it did provide quite a bit of weather protection as well. To the right of the sun hat is a pair of thongs, and to the right of that, which were great in the afternoon. Very nice to get out of damp boots, just from sweating. And to the right of the boots, the boots are in the top right corner. Below the boot are a pair of short length gaiters. I elected not to go for the full length gaiters simply because I get very warm when I walk, and I wanted to make sure that my legs were well vented. To the left of the gaiters are three pairs of socks. I chose very lightweight cotton socks for summer. Just below that to the right are two gas cylinders, one 220 gram cylinder and one 100 gram cylinder. I did run out of gas on the last day, and I only used about 5 minutes worth. If I'd been probably a little bit more careful, I could have gotten away with one 220ml, but I was glad I did carry the small 100 gram backup gas. Everything was, all my meals needed hot water, and I needed to have gas, and that's why I elected to carry that extra one. The bottom right corner is some dry bags. I didn't want to waterproof my backpack with a pack liner, and the reason for that was that my tent was not large enough to accommodate my backpack, which means that in the event of rain I needed to continue pulling things out of the backpack, potentially outside in the rain, and I wanted all the material inside the backpack to actually be waterproof, so I could actually pull it out, drop it on the ground, let the rain get on it, not worry about it actually getting wet, and then repack it wet and wait for the next dry day. To the left of the red nylon bags in the bottom right corner of the picture is my Sea to Summit bag, which is a good high quality dry bag, and that was for my sleeping bag. It was one thing I didn't want to get wet. Above that, just some spare items, including a beanie, a book, which was very good. To the left of the book, which is the Tom Clancy Red Storm Rising, is some additional medicine. I was very careful regarding my medicine. I wanted to make sure I had the headache tablets, the painkillers, and all sorts of other things for making you go to the toilet, making you stop going to the toilet, things for stomach ache, things for muscle relaxants to help you sleep at night if you had a sprained ankle. I had also things like Voltaren cream for muscle aches, so I was very well prepared, and a few people did lean on me for medicine, including both tablets and creams. It wasn't very heavy, so it was definitely worth carrying it. Below the long medicine container, to the right of the medicine container and above the book is my little stove. including the pot that I cook things in, and I did make sure obviously before I went it was big enough. Below the medicine is a towel, and to the left of the towel, which is a strange sort of orangey mustard colour, sorry, yellow mustardy colour, was my blow-up mattress. It's 8 centimetres thick, fantastic. Look, it does take a couple of nights to get used to, but it was definitely well worth having a blow-up mattress, and it had thermal protection in it. I think you can get them from Mountain Designs for about $140 to $160. Takes you down to -9. It's well worth it. To the left of that is some detergent and some hand wash, antibacterial hand wash. Above that is my little bag of odds and sods. It includes sunscreen, Aerogard, a torch, a long handle spoon, things like that. To the left of that, upper left of that, you can see Chuck's cloth, and a few other miscellaneous items. Below that you can see some white string or cord. I did take some extra stuff to help tie down the tent. I did use it a couple of times, but not too many of them. Below that is a black item, which is my dry overpants, and in the bottom left corner my thermals. I did wear the thermals probably about 3 or 4 times in the tent while I was sleeping. My sleeping bag did take me down to +1 degree, and I just found that it just helped take a little bit of the cold off. And then finally, in the top, on the center left, is the 2-person sleep tent, and that's my primary gear. The next one I'll show you will be a picture of the food and how I prepared the food. So this is the picture of the food. I elected to put all of my food in separate bags. Although I was camping for 7 days, I took 7.8 days worth of food. You can see on the front left there's a reserve bag, and essentially it was just full of items like nut bars. Each day I did try to vary. Probably the only thing I didn't vary enough was the lunch, which was consistently couscous. And after 2 or 3 days of couscous, you do start getting sick of it. The other issue I had was just the quantity of food. When you do walk, you do consume you do use a huge amount of energy. On some days I was probably using up to 16,000 kilojoules of energy, and yet although the average adult normally needs about 8,700 kilojoules, I was consistently eating around about 10,500 kilojoules of food a day. I was never hungry, which was good. The average weight of each bag, full day bag of food, was about 850 grams, which is probably on the heavier side, but I did have a good combination. So I had such things as cheese sticks, beef jerky, nut bars. I had a little hydrolyte. I had oats for breakfast and powdered milk to go with it. I had things like miso soup, chocolate bars, things like that. So overall, good combination of food. And what I'll do is I'll include a picture after this to show you what the food menu looked like. Okay. The items in red I probably didn't need, and the items in grey I elected not to take. I just want to talk briefly about the physical preparation that I underwent for the Overland track. I started about 8 months prior to the planned hike date. I was about 15 kilos overweight and quite unfit. I started with 4 to 5 kilometre walks, and within a couple of months, so that was on 1 day a week, and within a couple of months I was walking 4 to 5 kilometres twice a week. and included not just weekend time, but I would at least do 2 5K walks during the week, maybe one on the weekend and one during the week, either at night or during the day. In the morning, for example, before work. After those couple of months, I started wearing a backpack and putting a couple of kilos in it, and quite quickly, within probably about 4 months, I was up to 10 kilos, carrying 10 kilos. So I was generally filling it up with empty lemonade bottles, so they've got good lids on them, so they don't tend to leak like milk bottles in Australia. They tend to leak if you put them on their side and put other weight on top of them. And generally added on a couple of kilos each month until the last month I was carrying up to 24 kilos, up to about 13 kilometres. And my last walk before the Overland track was a 20-kilometre walk with the bum bag and with about 5 kilos in it. So that was it. So during the Overland track, I wore a Garmin Vivo Active HR watch that I charged up each night, and these pages have got are showing the URLs to the various uploads I've put up on the internet. So these show the distance I walk, average pace, elevation gain, lost, heart rate, external temperature, all those types of things. So it shows some relatively interesting data. And the good thing is it also very accurately maps the track for you as well, if you ever need it in the future. Good luck.